And we are back. Okay, we are digging into the workshop framework, and so want to think about what does this look like in the classroom. And so hopefully some of you are using Lucy Calkins' units of study. Some of you are following the American Reading Company, or if you're looking at Katie Wood-Ray's work, all of those are great. We'll dive more. We're going to look at units of study with Katie Wood-Ray in the coming future. Ooh, hate it when that photo stops. And so let's look at the workshop model. After you view this quick lecture, there's a great introductory, really short video from the teaching channel that you're going to watch too to kind of support your understanding. And so the workshop is a framework. And so when we think about artists and musicians and writers and readers, they work, right? The main focus of their time is work. And so we're emulating what does this look like in real life by conducting a workshop framework. And so essentially we're thinking about our lesson, or our chunk of time is split into 3 parts. So we have a mini lesson, which is a whole group lesson, thinking about a specific skill or strategy. We'll talk about what that mini lesson might look like. Then we have a work session. And so this is the largest group of time where kids are actually working independently or in small groups. And then the teacher is working one-on-one or with small groups as well. And then we have a lesson closing. And so we can share and celebrate and reflect. So all we're giving is a solid chunk of time, just some structure. We know that our students thrive on structure. This creates a routine and a ritual in our classrooms, and it's a sacred time that occurs every single day. So the framework is whole part whole, meaning we're together as a class all together. We break up, we do our work, and then we come back together for closure. The focus of instruction is the application of a concept or strategy for students to apply to their independent reading or writing. So for that mini lesson, we are giving them a goal or a strategy or something to do that they will actually practice during the work session. Let's start with a mini lesson. So this is the first part. This might be 5 minutes, this might be 10 minutes, this might be 15 minutes. This is not a set. It's not every single time. This is going to be 5 minutes. It depends what you're doing, but giving it some sort of structure. I like to think approximately 10 minutes. A scripted program might say that this is going to be between 5 and 7 minutes. I don't think that's fair to do that. But instruction is focused around a single teaching point. This is a mini lesson. During this time, we want something that students can take back and actually practice. This is going to align with the bigger goal of our unit and our curriculum. It's ongoing. So this might be strategy work. We'll talk about lessons later. And this should match the needs of your students. Now, your students all have different needs, obviously, but thinking about the trends that you're seeing from your classroom. Mini lessons might be a demonstration. How do we do something? Modeling, think alouds. What does it look like when I'm reading and questioning? Those kinds of things. Guided practice, where teachers and students are going through the process or practicing a strategy together. It might be you explaining and give an example, so explicit instructions of a strategy and expectations, and then supported with examples and how that can guide students' work. And then inquiry. Students explore and learn. What do you notice about informational text? What do you notice about narratives? What do you notice about a editor to the editor when you're reading and writing these things? Okay. Oftentimes the classroom will have a specific time for a reading workshop and a separate time for a writing workshop. It really depends on your school and your culture. You can integrate these things. A lot of the work that you do between reading and writing is really meshed, and so it's hard to segment them. But if you can give the reading purpose versus the writing purpose and how it fits into your day. The work session, this is the big chunk of our time, and this is for students to practice, for them to do that independent work, the work of reading, the work of writing, and then it gives the teacher time to confer. Conferences, reading conferences, writing conferences are huge. This also might look like the teacher working with small groups and guided reading. Guided reading is based on not students' reading level, but on their strategies or the goals or the needs that they need. And so students are reading on a variety of reading levels in a guided reading group. but they're all working on the same skill or strategy. We're going to talk more about that. This is just the overview to the framework. The majority spent time students reading at their independent reading level. We want them actually practicing, doing the work. This provides time to increase volume and stamina. You have to practice, just like riding a bike, training for a race, we have to practice. We want to give choice. This is where our classroom libraries come in. We want to encourage reading identity. We want to think about keys to motivating readers. This is going to tie into your reading this week, which I'm super excited about. We want to give students access to books they want to read and many opportunities to choose what to read from a variety of reading materials. Reading doesn't all have to look the same. Everyone has different interests. We want to encourage our students to break out of their comfort zones, but we want to read a variety of genres. We want to read in a variety of ways. It might be in digital formats. It might be in traditional formats. It might be magazines, comic books, graphic novels, whatever, but it's reading and it's an opportunity for them to get excited. Okay, conferences that are occurring during this work session, they're planned. Okay, they're not just lackadaisical. They have an explicit goal of instruction. You have to know your students in order to conference with them. One teaching point. This is not a huge opportunity for you to spend 30 minutes with them. This is quick. This is ongoing, it's frequent, and it's an opportunity for you to check in with them. You're going to think about the research, what you know about your students, and you're going to teach that. Okay, then we have the lesson closing. This is an opportunity for reflection. It's an opportunity to reinforce that mini lesson and to celebrate. What did you see? What were your students seeing? Have them talk about what they noticed, how they were able to self-regulate, how they chose books. There's so many wonderful opportunities here, and we need that lesson closing, and we need students to own this time, and it's an opportunity for their voices to be heard. Okay, here we go. The most basic goal of any literacy program should be the development of readers who can read and who choose to read. Okay, we want to understand what reading, just what we read. So we're putting all of our reading skills together to comprehend. Teachers can provide the most essential literacy skills, but if our students are not motivated to read, they will never reach their literacy potential. Okay, for your reading this week, you are going to read chapter 3. You're going to think about motivation. You're going to think about how you motivate your own students. I want to look at your assignments for the week quickly. Woo. And we're going to dig deeper, I promise, into the workshop. We're going to dig deeper into lessons, into all of these things, specific skill-based strategies. I just feel like I've talked too much this week, so I'm going to just stop. Here we go. For week 3, you have an introductory and a to-do list. I will add your 2 virtual lectures that I just completed now. Those are the only things that are missing. Reminder, on Tuesday evening, I am available to chat from 8 to 9. Pop in, see me. I have a quick page here, some of the Google survey results, and I listed everyone, their grade level, where they live. I would really encourage you to reach out, find a study buddy. I talked a little bit about things you want to learn, and then I have a Google slideshow to your ideal bookshelves that were amazing. Still finishing reading and getting you guys feedback on that. I am so sorry. Okay, other things in the module. So this is just a kind of read through, but no assignment there. Reading workshop, you are going to watch a super quick video on the reading workshop. You are going to do a chapter 3 reflection. This is written or professional conversation. The NCT policy brief, I want you to read through that. Awesome. And then we're going to have a digital discussion. Hopefully that'll all make sense. And then learning experience 3, we're thinking about literate environments, tying that in with motivation and what does our classroom environment look like. So super excited to see those. Just a hint, I don't know if anybody knew this or not, but these little symbols on the left, if there's ever a pencil, you actually have to submit something there. So sometimes that's a little help. Hope you're all great. Holler if you have any questions. Hopefully I tried to be clear, but things come up. And have a great week and weekend.